Amansan Ntie.
Dr. Amansan Ntie is a senior lecturer at UPSA, University of Professional Studies, will be joining me in the studios. And Benjamin Atta, Asante Mampong this year. He's a labor expert, will also be joining me in the studios. Ediaben Sam and Yebobo Hon, Ediana Yeye. Okay. CD did a report by Nawachi na and some woman and Yagro. And some more dupa na unya se or say Samre Amansan Ntie Panifa General Yebobo Bohunia she. Ghana for a dear band Yamana CD di Busa or more. And one bay yasi a shemu yepa. Almost say and Yamabe and 9 bang and a priority. Eda Ghana for Kuma Super, mo just say abinu to one or more. Ebe boa womo. The omudidi kind the friend of unemployment. And I just said womu super wo womu just say education su here womu. Womu just say infrastructure like roads and bridges, healthcare, including NHIS and so day. Here womu pa agricultural development ka ho. Then so the omububo so pa no unemployment. Hoping 57% of Ghanaians say Adia priority pa was our buying any ko ho pa ma omo unemployment. Ghana ya mabuno ewie suku no mo be gu montene so a adwuma sem ho den. We are no free hono mo kra no a aban no ayese ono na the largest employer no ontumi mfa ni pa mrobe 800,000. Now they are Ghana for bebrebe. And Mabunu bebrebe. Se our private universities bebrebe na spring it up. Se nursing training no tertiary at spring it up. Private ones. Free SHS de enkwada bebrebe suso ba begu omanhene. Enti omo wie suku a. What is the government policy for them? What is the government plan for them? I say, I say, free SHS. Oh, free SHS dear. Yes, it's good. Pankwalani we go. Bebrebe Ura University. Omko Ura University. Omo mu pia be kra yese mo kra kwa didi omo maye. Yes, I di biya ka ho. Yempo enkwala be we school ababontin. What is the government policy for? I'm afraid. Afi ye be share. Nana Danko Kufado. This is the second time I want to cry and him. Minority ranking member for foreign affairs Ukujeto Ablakwa. Northern member of parliament. Edin member to Ja. Edi kan ba e na akotu kwan na sika. Ode fa aeroplane no the doso po nyagro. We so Saudi aba and also call for national presidential travel policy. MPP for ni bifi say Papa no ya menani ordinary si na Nado Danko Akufo-Addo so noa say ordinary si na Nado Danko Akufo-Addo so and to tear people like Gabi Asorchidako asema all can say it looks as if Ghanaians we know the cost of everything but the value of nothing. This was said some years back by His Excellency the former President John Ejekum Kufuor Emrana Yokosi Jubilee House na Ghana for be ye na ye nisika na wan and also chira say nuntina na do so plane bia and you're 22,000 crown of a day and an hour. Yaman Kwana. Is it not also the public purse? And or share also be protected? Is he protecting the public purse? Some yama way no need a bit my bed check Akuma no ena. Yede SSS Hanomo. It's 92.9 Accra, 93.3 Kumasi live on Facebook, on Kessben Television, YouTube, and Kessben FM. Join us this morning. You can send your comments via Facebook. You can send your comments to 02051700969 via text, text or WhatsApp 02051700969. Let me welcome my gentleman in the studio. Any kind, Dr. Gokumauto. Now I'm to say, Bibi Aboko. Yeah, nobody see. Okay, and Asante Mampong this year, Benjamin Atta. Ben, you want to say?
Yami Adam.
Bibi Aboko. Yeah, nobody has say. Mami sha say free honomo. Na yen share. CDD report no menim say working kind mo. Your general impression. Omo ye no after elections. Once and baby be call about to our people's expectation. We dey ya to aba na wie. And issues be about umkobusa Ghana for. Let's start with the corruption. 62% of Ghanaians are to abano. Out of the 2,400, sample size, a more 62% say, "Omunyi GDS and another bit my concretation project." Isn't it something I was a buying ban hosopa? Because everybody knows corruption is a perception, but when the perception generates into a belief, it becomes a problem. Amansan Ntie, on the issue of corruption, na yen fancy feel.
Yo, me da say mame encha omo ahwe ni atiefo nyina. Ede a o se me chia me krom fo. Ofidie die. Eno ne number 1 na ya no omo hwe nti.
E wo mampo.
Sante mampo nti minya akonya. Na e wo omo chinchim fidie nyina no. Em say my general statement in say CDD4 no se wogidi kura se omo ehye political lens kura na. Omo research die eya na aba wom.
Okay.
Ti mesre aban say omo research no ma aban fa ni agro.
Okay.
E wo mu say we can question the methodology. We share a sample space of 2,400. Now we share onoma eto abara. You may raise questions on representations.
Okay.
And we are not seized with the full details of the particular communities
I think I will have it here.
The particular communities, may whether they were skewed towards the stronghold of the opposition. And I said there was a fair balance between the strongholds of opposition and the incumbent.
Okay.
And we move the idea, see a question methodologies in the idea. Obi onim research biano.
What they did here was they went through all the 16 regions, and then adult population picked Western, Central, all the rest, and then the survey sample.
16 regions, is too broad a spectrum to just refer to.
Okay.
No, we are dealing with constituencies.
Okay.
So, and a constituency be also one some fundamental dynamics in terms of voter, skewing.
Okay.
So, person a very scientific representation there. Now, also, which say maybe. This came from this number of constituencies. Perfect. That's the point. And now, region beyond so now, the fact say you had samples from every region, so does not also mean it's representative enough.
Okay.
Because Obeko region bino now it is made up of about 10 constituencies. Obeko another region, so no, now 40 something so constituencies near there. But the we nan tonchen. Me mafutuo me de be ma aban ene aban panimfo ne say hwehwemu say ba yemfa aba ewo mu na yenhwe anamo a aban betumi atu e de asiesie ne ma corruption de ya de bi a mempo no eduru mre bi no na nkrofo bi agidi say edan bi a na mesie no omo fi say me na naka ba bi no otam ajapade bi ma me nko a Inti no wadane ama ne mbabe se miensa.
Inti na ni bi show mienu.
That's the point. And I know omokeka. Me kura no, enye se minyi ye kura mani sheda hu gold. First time I hu gold pa say gold pa ni say me ye wedding. I hu say gold yi ma choose karat dodo a yemfa nye
gold ne ma.
And me ankasa for the first I felt good. But that time nyina na nkrofo boy kwa do say ye na na da ne bi. Inti abusua kitwa kura no. Yeah, na perception wom.
Okay.
And the sane mpanimfuo bi nso betoto wo niam ene ade. Enso tumi kire bia na corruption ni ho. But niam ne kasa ne bia ye beka bibia fa ho ne anuyi a wo de beba ne sube a obeyi na di nyira tumi ma nkrofo bi nya tirimu kase sanete. And nso ne ekoto aba nkrofo bi so hweso. E de to aba nti wunya te say this is corruption perception. Now, whether it is substantiated or unsubstantiated, real or apparent, just try and deal with it. And we have futua made to me the ama and say, Sa woman, may a buying tonching, a buying cohum. nani wumbia betumi tu ho anamon even though you may have challenges with the methodologies ni ade no eya futu a eya na sa CDD for no end time fa entudwa by heart so we hear US elections a ubehu na ya de bibia ba se eba no Afghanistan fighter we ne rating ni ne appeal public appeal on women on this approval rating ubehu an say ye de idi agro but ubehu na akoye adwuma die enti na ye survey na ye koka say Africa ha nyina Ghana ye ne ye the most peaceful country a eno de ebeji atumu na BBC ye mpese editu anamo se kokuramo besiwu a ewo na hyenso de enti obi a onim na hyenso de ewo ya ni ka kire o se menua enha wani nkasa da de a eye we kokuram kope ho aduru na wo ye badwomba udimrika be kwa kope onko ka se we de eye sent bi a mete ye na enko yie mame wo de sa bo sa wo hwinabo eno ne afutu a anopai de be ma aban ne aban pani fo
mame DNA mema Ghana for
na meba o corruption nso no wo so ansa nkyire mu yie amma yen se we ye wo mo a ye appointees nko a na se wo mo ma na makan kakra no so nse wo ka corruption so a eye so broad say one nkyire mu a because maybe report ba say the most corrupt institution na wo Ghana and na the minimum there but be say mfiensi atwamu they say a police service aposifo so ebufu ye etijira
wo bufu was like yeah jeje 11 cedi wo mote akase no mo ka ma say 11 cedi be jeje wo kwa
yeah say is it the count of the actions and I said the quantum of losses
that's also crucial
I don't know ewo and about corruption kra na ukwa in religious bodies krana obenya bi o civil service public institutions ni ade technocrats ni ade nti corruption no ya omome ante ase yie but I say Ghana no nya koka corruption pe no bi ade the ni kusi government appointees
on ye de almost assembly say ya jeje yesika so ma wo
meba eye no kran so nya no kresa hwe eto da bi enye nanu ya passport we call online na wa apply any home chrono ba akane no menua pani ene be ya adwen se
kono na first
kono kosi ni goro boys ni tunshemu a na wo even passport mo kra no but over here now they akwa kwhye pen mo bi enso obi tachire driver's license kra na ye kasa kra no driver's license kra o call rate test na I test ni ade no baby one microphone koye so tifie na de
no de ka kokun obi
no de ko roadway certificate ni ade nyina no eto da bia wutumi hwe obi dia hwe kala no hwe code no na asaka wo afidie bi the best scanner wutumi hu se kawe enti ewo eye pervasive that's right enti wono mo kire mu a ya na o ma kire mu yie ama se aman no tu anamon fa some of these directional way na ye hu se ye de ani kwa ha ye de ani kwa na ugya no ejeje mu a se just opinion on kwa keke no a what the my there but I na me no with my background I na me pe solution oriented argument what the about say ni and I'm mobile ni into eno no de wono ma misa nkrofo no ama ya hunu se wadwene ya wo say yeto abatia aban no because of aban eniama bia why na mo bi otu yi de nti ena wan santra ho kakra no one bisa se kwan bay and also aban no faso and no na me no me check report na me feel say emre bia ombenya akwanya foforo bia so ombe so via magana no mo fancy just the opinion levels nko wo mo nkyere ya na mo a aban na so oman no tu a ebeboa na Ghana fo adwenkyere no so no wagye e de aboa ye nyina nti de besi an mama me nua pa so akwanya na
mama ko Dr. Mauto ho doc mama ji wo so adwenkyere But say you have to mix it. Don't worry, mix it. Why?
Now, woman, and money,
Bro, funny training, you know, so the befra and your problem. So to train so I know can you pa.
That's not a problem. That's not
okay.
Yeah. So, Miss Machia, a chef, you know, Machia, Machia, me, very much. So, me, my bummy fee. I like to tell me. I've been here for about 15 years now.
I can't hear the two. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So, that's it. It's more kind. For me, where I sit, I always say, Ghana Constitution. I bind be in who about me. I fight corruption the way Ghanaians expect it. Now, corruption where we on, we have the beneficial aspect of it. People benefit from corruption. Now, a cassette will be a corrupter, a trickle down to Grofona or more corrupt because of the beneficial side of it. Now, I could say Krum Hano. I want to give a preamble before coming to the report. I can say Krum Hano. Say, per se, you come at someone, do a corruption survey, which I always say, sometimes it's a peripheral perception of what is happening. Say, Odrin saying, many Kasano say, it is too open. Say, if that is just a perception, a lot of things goes into it. People may think what you have, and even your vicinity, there's some perception about you. So perception is there, but I see that's not the way to fight corruption. Social corruption, abroad for any other countries are fighting corruption. They have minimized it. Nobody, no country in the world has been able to eradicate corruption. They have minimized it. But here in Ghana, no, it can't be. I've been saying this, and I'm happy people are also saying it. I started talking about this issue about our constitution. The framers of the constitution in Ghana were so much focused on ensuring that a system will be established such that there will be no coup d'etat.
Okay.
And to Shepa, since 1992, there has never been coup d'etat. It is because of the structures of our constitution. Powers being microphones being some. You cannot just stand up and go and organize coup d'etat. It doesn't mean people don't plan coup d'etat. People plan it. But the constitution,
difficult.
Like you see the way.
If not
the framers, no,
as you say,
making sure that there are checks and balances are. But it lacks capacity to fight corruption and even economic gain when it comes to economic development, because it has given so much powers to the executives. I always say that, you see, the NDC and NPP will always ride on the back of corruption to win power. And when they come, what do? No, in 2016, Mikaipa said, the government is so corrupt. And Mumaya chance they bar will fight them. And this is flash as here. Nankanya sema nanka obi a ka say corrupt no and for some be so ni part of corrupt no. I say vicious cycle no.
And even in 2008 the NDC did the same. MPP.
Me that's it.
In 2016
NPP did the same thing.
Now the NDC has started.
No, you see, give the dog a bad name and hang it. A vicious cycle yeah kono. Yan trust us of mine and share the fundamental issues that affect our society, from minimizing corrupt acts. Many of them will go around every now and then. There will be several surveys. But that's the person who shares, how corruption trickles down from the macro level to the micro level. I was so happy you started with that from that angle. Now, Minia, your mind say excessive power to the executives who are in charge of our resources to make some appointment. I say you don't want to fight corruption. What I say?
Say that again.
When the Constitution, you give so much powers to the executives, whichever party comes into play.
To me, you
see, they can do whatever they want to do. In fact, the survival of Ghana is in the hands of the president. The checks and balances are becoming weak on a daily basis. Meaning, people can hate us for whatever we are talking about, but that's the truth. Mesma coup d'etat has become so demotivating, so difficult to organize. We need to frame our constitution such that corruption cannot just be orchestrated by anyone. Look, Chairman, and you don't need to be so intelligent to outsmart the system. In the Western world, the difference is that the systems in place are such that not a mere person can break the system. You need an alliance of a number of institutions, a number of agencies to perpetrate serious fraud.
And also crediting.
Now, once they be a account, a den and Crawford 80, and Crawford one the respondent to the survey, and then Amote say Adie say no. You see, a buying the public could be Sani pa could be and then one mote and 2% so one fighting corruption. I be catch also. Say, me sorry, every week we are sorry. We are ira, and they'll give you the perception. So often than not, no, a buyer now they be out so no, because of the structures never no, affected the fighting of corruption, no, and then I continue a mine. Now let me come to the details. Oh, one example. We see a system. Even though people disagree with me, a system, president, appointing auditor. At any given point, or no aspect me a dismissal. Auditor is na usher a bank Crawford so. A boy appointees so. That is excessive powers we are talking about. What's that? Because Omanhene the next have dakro. Politicians now what you say, you see, they have the powers into they may not even enjoy what they are making today. Because day in, day out, Ghanaians are becoming enlightened.
They are getting angry too.
Getting angry. And it will be in the interest of just two. No, Ghana is not a two-party state. These two parties to come together and say that, look, let us agree to listen to the people than to go through the vicious cycle every time they win election. Now, you should make my bet to me of minimizing waste through corruption. Until then, many abema, we have a system. Me kai pa say, me kai say, Abawe beba no, ye papa bi tena ba bi ka say, yisi no, or you say, obai, you buy be pamono. And then they see,
pamono.
Me da say. If we don't see, me can say, maybe yisi no, because we've spoke about procurement breaches.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to out no. Truly, there were procurement breaches.
Yeah.
They need to inform. So I say, inform. But are you saying that the same has not happened in other state agencies like a bank for people?
But even now we're talking about Minister of Health and procurement breaches.
If we want to fight corruption, we don't pick and choose. You may not have people to agree with whatever you say, but truth be spoken, some of the things executives know too much, which we have to minimize, trickle down to some agencies. Omunya post na and on na suppose na trickle down to the average Ghanaian down there. Enti on him say wait there ho na say me party or power. So I'll always do it and see how best to use the provision of the constitution to protect myself. And no any major issue Ghana EFAC. Na this week because let me say NDC ni baby. Nana or kasa bibre na me share sana kasa come out with all the intelligence. Na obi say like he spoke well. Me say nisa bia say Ghana for emano
to me so
to me. What would they do to fight corruption
differently?
Minia ojina hokakra no ochemi so ye wa bakosam say obi bia dia ye be chiwatum. In corruption, there are two aspects of fighting corruption. The preventive and then the detective. Now, over the years, our system is such that the preventive measures are not so that strict. And we use the detective measures. And apply sanctions. And when you listen to we read papers on anti-fraud, measures. Detective aspect of it, and yet the major issue. But they are always interested in the preventive measures, about preventing somebody from stealing. And that would depend on who policies are. Who they are to prevent you, so there will be no motivation. There will be no incentives for corruption. So that's here.
Okay.
And Okache me say me minister bi and ya be minister you minister free the position, not the presidency and your promotion.
So more akwapa no kwafo. What the kakay no quality brabe home.
Me say measures am here, even the detective measures am we see on say obi say you say obi bo kro no. And I must you okay, on step aside. No man, according to the presidency.
Minister of State at the presidency.
Then I know.
So
there is an incentive
to steal.
And these are the truths we can only tell them. Until we sit down to take a second look at our constitution, the service. I don't want to go too much into the survey. And to be frank with you, the corruption aspect of it, and I don't want to go into it because we will go around the circles. We are corrupt, but we don't want to look at what the issues are.
Dr. Mautomami Musawe.
All right.
Aren't we also, Yensuso as the citizen, contribute to say, if I say, one say, Menuai Ako Abemu. Ura Abemu, our expectation. The family's expectation, that of the generality of me. Say if I say, me kind of say, me. Let me get the correct name. I don't want to make Benjamin Atta, a minister for interior. Immediately, Nabusian for the only a Juma unqualified no, a copy certificate beer on Fanachuma. 2. Oba constituency and Oba community where they are expecting to do out some certain amount of money. And isn't it the pressure? So ye catch on some ye corrupt no. Ye the two almost so. And the man it drew maybe because member of parliament BS now would so tia sikase yanka will retain you seat. When tia will be a betia. I'm a yet to know. Ninto brow or your Juma or Hanuman into to me and see dying. The expectation from the general public also doesn't it contribute, even though we need to do something about the constitution. What then I'll come from? Okay,
so you are looking at the cultural aspects of the rationale behind corruption at Omanhene, and also one dimension. Minya, you see, we are calling our unia, we share o papa no mame, and then we share community uni. So from when you're not udini, we always say that the issue always lie on the doorsteps of the leaders. Now, ebi corruption, ebi a self-inflicted corruption. I like yen penny for now. One ya more powers. So one enfambe manage resources no. Due to some of the things we are talking about now, one have apportioned to themselves huge entitlement and incentives. A creative gap between the average Ghanaian and the ono. And often they are not, they have legitimized their incentives.
Okay.
And the average Ghanaian is also looking at now me may juma for about 20 years. Who comes to Kenya Boma, me nya beye 400,000. Now why could juma for only 4 years, not this amount. In fact, they have legitimized their income because of some of the things we are talking about. What we have asked them to go there is to make laws and rule our country for us. Proper laws, not laws that will give them entitlement over us. Meaning, I'm not gonna phone you now. The first thing I say, I'm gonna create a gap between the poor, the average Ghanaian and Omo entitlement. So what I say. Right. Now, once you do that, they'll start pointing fingers at you. I feel my own brother, individual citizens, cultural issues. Say, minim say, me busu nini onya say ya, me koho, no mako nya say. I don't know be koho. We have placed some special incentives on those positions, which were done by the same people. Meaning, Oko UK. Now you can crowd here, the Scandinavian countries. I know BIA is looking up to them. Sweden, Oko Finland. You see an MP, a lawmaker, on a bicycle. Do you know the reason why they don't have issues resigning? What's maybe Makoti will be nice so and to be resign. Oh, I didn't know we're resigning.
Because he has nothing to lose.
He has nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. In fact, the issue is that the system is such that you are coming to serve, not to lord over the people who sent you there. By a Ghana system, no. I can say, Ubro wants to Abama. Yet to my one was become a king. We use you are translating the kingship system to our political system.
I know they crap out.
Sir, but they are servants. They are servants.
Then we all, as a nation, as a citizen, we need orientation.
I'm telling you, Minia. The first time there was an investment called Canada. Now, me who a student, I will be 21 years. I offer, that's Steven. Me say, I will Steven, the professor.
Sure. So, no, there culture.
That is the culture.
Aha.
I tell you, by you know.
Nah, Minnie. So, Michelle got a mouth. I'm a doctor. Nigeria, they say, hey, you will be on now a chief engineer. Obosholo. And I'm going to be also chief engineer Obosholo. My name is Chief.
Thank you.
So play the second chief.
That is.
I get you.
That is a problem. That's a problem where almost salaries are known. And to who him say, "What for now? Oh yeah, MP no. This is his entitlement." Meaning, I don't know as an average lecturer of a university. They know my level of income. I don't have the power to create a high income for myself, but they have the power to create parity between workers. But that power, they have used it to create a gap between the average Ghanaian and Omo. And that's why everybody is looking up to them. Nanka Ediano Sono, we know a friend is saying Ediabano like and yeah ready and obi anto bombo no ana meboa
abre
thank you abre and to bia bo eko
na me go Benjamin Atahona meaning say ekora yedina coming now on the issue of yenia and so yes Emma omoyesa. Now, Dr. Mauto so raised the concern of the constitution. Ebe kai affect the country. Amansan Ntie and almost so the Kratako. Bekai 2010, His Excellency the late President. Basunko ma Ghana for da. Even the current EC was part of it. Our munina ko ekosisa say Ghana for say constitution. Yes, he's been there since 2010 up to date. Is it about political will? And I say, and there may be almost constitutional review committee, no commission, no almost a sanwa. It puts them in a certain area. And momo entimi nya hodin nye de kabia na omuye.
Yo, say mesa dance bi oni akonya de amame. Menua no aka nsem no bebre. Nti nya de a mekomachi bebre but yewo niam ba ko mienu bi a me feel say me can be for so a ebeboa.
Okay.
Number 1, ye hwe constitution no since 1992 ye use no mfie bebre. Ye nyina ye gitum say emra so say ye sachira mu.
Okay.
In fact, omanhene nkasa otisui e de by etu ho na mo say ye momodia say betumi ato abama MMDCs. Say na okasa no, he was talking about our constitutional history ni ekwan ya yafa so a ye di tumi bebre ama omanhene nyame ncha de omanhene otisui eye lawyer pani onimpa say tumi e de ama no edoso opese ogya mu hwe wonye obi a wo ye okukoduro ni a ana we are very bold that you can never take that step that Nana Akufo-Addo took. Unim power ekuta obi a ye friend no DCE eye tumi kese pa in district ebetumi ama wo wini aba ebetumi ama wo lusu aba enso omanhene tumi atena se aka se momeyan sesa no na we na ye magana and ye de akomra je be ko nwi ho edru last stage na bason ko ba konso ba o se ye de na aka ne ne yesi epene so ba fe de enye de yempene so and before so betumi take care na mo unhia 2/3
yes
na wo de tu sa na mo no 2/3 nso won ma meka wo ho a nti wo san free ho na okotena akire na wo be ka se corruption ye na yensia no a unso unim se bi anka ye koto abama DC is over 200 yanka bia we can hold them more accountable kakra na maye hwemfi enema bi esisi ya sana ye de 1992 constitution neba na mama ko machirem kakra bi sebeya metumi a build on.
Go ahead.
Eye PNDC era for about 11 years no na yewura JJ Rawlings a nyame aton sa afre no na onye prepared one na so afo na the secretaries no they were not prepared to return Ghana to constitutional rule. Na economic hardship and a bedri yen afi na wo say other institutions eboa World Bank IMF ni ade nti afi na conditionalities akobam say o pebosia say o pese ye wo say a won so ye say o pese ye wo say a ye say won say mre bi yewura JJ Rawlings ka say ono de onye fanatic of democracy eye nensa
ena na
ya chichire enam tibia ne akomuni ahoden a ne ehia ne moa ehia ntino na wo se wonom te ase se eye de ya ye be de ye beto aba enti ekwan a ye fa so ehihye ye constitution no one of the aim was to also consolidate the powers in the hands of the president.
Even though democracy the nenso so ahoden no still kutame
enti wotumu say na ye free dictatorship mu na ye ba into a type of democracy. Enti wo hwa wonom a ehia ehihye ye no so no in fact history chere say ye were provisions be to say transitional provisions ni ade bi abeba mu a enye from the consultative assembly no na de ba e be shemu Nti the whole idea is say may you lose power no. Nti we have to consolidate so I say power no say be ya ekuta nipa ne nsem a akoye te say a type of dictatorship bi a ye dey about to abaya there about better ba nyame ncha de ye dey tu anamon aduranimu ye nyina ye gitum say won sesan ba ko mienu bi a e wo say bam na ma me nkyere madwene wo mienu two provisions enye easy say me no yakogina party ticket back so ne ato aba maye na wo yaba be ye attorney general na me nso me ye MP ni bi na ebi amakofom kakra na e wo se wo na otu anamon etia me ami yen kan ho no kure enye easy nti obia enim se emre bi beba no se nyamma ye kure wo se sa power mienu no ye team na you make sure say you was state attorney no the owo and you betimi anya minister for justice and also ewo and no entin koda meba eni say ye chichire omampanin so nsa
o kind of say
what we need about no chinchia about 2/3 of his ministers I was say a free bedwam
That's
if we say nyame anim ne nokure nie me na me cabinet minister me ama ya me proposal say me budget nie me nkasa obi ye cabinet minister oni nokure die wom oye na adwuma nanso no ne ntie ya na perception ni bi ba no na me chire mu no me ama ya cabinet minister me the proposal ba ne ade me wie no me de akọ cabinet hia ya gi atum ye mra no enye nipa no suban yo ye mra no ana san man akwanya se sa cabinet na also de ko parliament for approval enye sa enti me ka ho mo de ko parliament ya approve ade no me ka ho bi ena ya approve ye wie na me betu ho ana mo di ho chia me edi animu a ye wie na ye de kotudwa na ye bu ho kontan so a bi ana me sa atemu bi ewo ha enti ka hunu say tailor ni a ono ato ne material pam na taade ehye no e den ma no pa so obetumi aka kyen say manhu ade pam eno nti no e wo say ye bold na yetumi sisa emra no na omampani betumi enya tumi a ordinary ahwem e betumi aba say bi amrahye bedwam mpo no na nka position bi wo ha nipa na wo pesa odi ni tua ho no na omfiri ho bi ana enso emra na chichiro mampani dendende into obeye ne dey wonso a obe yeto abama so we MP no emra da sa chichiro ya point to so we minister untumi nkasa wonye because already no what to si wasa obesom emra no so chire say ye fa ministers a ye mfa dodo free parliament so we abefa so osompa wasom pen anase gidie wo mu se obetumi asom brana babesum untumi nkase o de oye parliamentary enti won so onya dey onko
there is this issue that has to do with to test no say Liman Prenso na sa amra ni ho ene ko ba say omo no so ewa achi ni ministers wa abonten enti wotam emra especially even budget was thrown out Victor
Mami Nchawano
eye dey say ya e ma aban no so nkrofo nya ahoden etimi defend
mami mo o nse me di kan e kan umre no so bebre enti ma masembe ma lecture
ye wa ha kopem no kronti
okay meti ho kakra say the constitutional past history be a free by no
that's right
the whole idea ni say you make say the parliamentary and the presidential system say be ya the then omampani no betumi anya tumi kese
okay
now o control her was tumi control her enti ade ye de ko share emrahye bedwam say be ya omampani no mpo ankoye lucky na ne to Liman ni bi kusi a obetumi say anya ahoden e wo parliament ho
good
so o ti ase enti wo so wo ahoden wo executive no wo de emfa say ato aba na omampani ye na dwini say obefa 300 ministers na aban yemra nso echechire ne say oma 2/3 in free parliament 300 ministers 2/3 eya ahe so what I say into over 300 na over 2/3 echire say 200 ministers oti also free emrahye bedwam nti ebekwa akoka 75 MPs a wɔn nyɛ ministers bibia so nsi ɔmampani kwan sɛ ɔfa na pamfo a ɔmfa nsi dodoɔ sɛ apart from cabinet ministers a also wɔn si 19 no apart from that no
there's no cap
on it enti obi betena ase na ɔkɔka sɛ o ministers dɔɔso o ministers esua ne ade a mete hɔ a ya na mesiri o metirim because argument ya na mpɛ sɛ me tene sɛ we ministers dodoɔ sɛ ɛho ka ɛyɛ dodoɔ sɛ adwuma yɛ de ma wɔn yɛ dodoɔ sɛ no wɔn tumi deliver nso mpɛmpɛn so sɛ ɛno na me pɛti na ɔbɛka sɛ wɔn yɛ dodoɔ sɛ wobɛtumi afa 5 ministers na wɔn ho ka ɛboro sɛ wafa 300 ministers nti those arguments no there ya na is for political expediency yɛmra auditor general nsɛm na me nua ni raise auditor general you be a yafa ne say or equivalent to court of appeal judge ekwan ya yafa so di auditor general efiri ho no enye omampani ene wo sa atumi no emramu no nye omampani na wo sa atumi no na mmom se ukoye bibi eti se ECD no ono nso eye the equivalent of court of appeal judge
yes sir
nti procedures a yɛfa so eyi no nya wampani ɛna eyi sankrofo wi efiri wɔn akonnwa so na mo petition no kɔ hɔ a ɛnya wampani nso ɛna hwɛ kasa yɛ wɔ prima facie case ɔno no de nso ɔyɛ conduit nti petition no kɔ wampani nsɛm a na ɔno nso apia akɔ na yɛ set up committee
ben meba me one me be ya adwen so sɛ enam tumi a ye ka sɛ the executive wonti na ne party ne wo power no o wa kwanya bebre so obetima ma obi atwero petition
o eno de ti petition de petition no na me pa che sɛ wo kɔma obi kura atwero petition a tumi na ye di yi saa nipa no free hɔ no ye constitution na nkasa e wo banbo kese ma saa nipa no je sɛ wo nkasa dream bi anase bibi nchehoma bi aba be kyekyerew
o twa ho
sabe o Ghana ha ena na an bi gise sa kwanya we na nanko se judicial service ana supreme court faso mano but o mko yetumi bo asem ne gu se wo sa atumi no a anka obetumi akosesa ho
okay
so what I say sa atumi ni ho ma o mampani bia enti se obi de kwa aduba se bia attorney general na say sorry auditor general yes ade we ya
let's one no a
onfom ya untumi mfaso enka se wey na di na auditor general yin so a okoye no obi a yin na di in fact me say labor expert na mentumi nka nsɛm no nyina wa ha me nkasa me nso me di mani hwɛ nsɛm no mu bi edi akire in fact metumi aye audit nationwide ama eba adwuma ko bi some time back na nkrofo a na wo bo ages me say obi to read the certificate ebe to manim
na wa hwe nanim
na the date of birth e was on the time of the year middle school no na utum so we school no na enwo no
ono wa we school ni
ah that's why ba adwuma o we school no na enwo no
ono wa we school ni enwo
no enso na de na middle school certificate I say makwan sesi a say yanje titula baduma fo bia ni date of birth na yamfa nkɔ slate sesi a na yankɔ ba bi okɔ school a meka me kyerɛw more than 10% be kofi
and if you cry
call back to police so metia no me nice nsɛm so as a labor expert na ya dwuma no ya na confidentiality ntino untumi nya kan kasa we yes na no ogu professionalism no nipa agi edi ho no ogu hu fia no ntini yentumi nkasa enkansem bi obedwamu no ukọ police mu sesi a ye wo mpanimfo ba ko mienu miensa bi a uti
ye wo
obi ba o se owo no adi 30 years and anu ya wadi ni 30th birthday odi ye ne papa no a o se owo no adi 30 years afel no ya 47 years he
Say we are prewanyis. I am prewanyis. Oh no,
that's why I can also bala over set.
Oh no, no, that's 70. The same anybody. A quick one now. There's this police officer. You didn't know Kumasi. Now, who police in here? What is that? What?
Go.
Bro, age now was so. And so, Papa is about to say, bro. Say, it's not me, Busali, Babasali. It's Papa. What the so police?
Yeah, go.
Where did I catch corruption?
Oh, yeah. Intino, Sabi, we obi a we nhwehwemu na obi eye bibia ensem fata wo so wonya kokuduro be ka kire yen se ne nipa we ye aban so afo aban pani ne oye we say auditor general or the private entities aban crofo ana we da no mbedi nti se de sa to me we amawo na wo ankasa wo age no kra no ho tichima na wo ankasa kra wo yo ye wo no nim na mum ya ka kire na wantumi amfa ba ko anya adwuma consistently na nhwehwemu koda dia oti ase sa wugidi pa sa nya wo age no a fa court na kotwe ho manso na nka ye nhwehwemu mo sa na me pa hwehwe sa oti ase na mum wo ye kokoye ho din na adie no be
dia bontin na kototo mu baba park no so
sa oti ase na kototo bu oba park no so na wa me nyina sabi arehemu a enya wo musa nka obetumi asore agina na nka mpo aban no twema nso fa wo age ho wonim se wokuta the right age no kra beso wa ntumi ansore agina o se wo ye dey o te koda na me dem asem ba wie no ye constitution no dey eno no na akoye ojasa sama a ehihye se ye yankasa ye enya ho ahoden ansesa niam bi a o mampani kura ye na bi nso opeso tu ho na mo a na montu ebeye keto bi ba ko nam di kan ma ho example no hwe o mampani otiso esan wo aniso adehunu bi se anka obenya anka public institutions CEOs ni ho nkro ne ba no ka bia ka betimi advertise na qualified Ghanaians aye dey akọ nanso no yehwe ye mra ene ye politics a ewo Ghana ha na bisa ho se ye ko bia election no menu we ko gina abonten ka se manisu adehunu am pese bi ye adwuma no one me nya adwen me ye dey na me nya tumi na obi a one wo nya adwen obetimi aye dey afa no na one na ba be ye adwuma empo sa nipa na nka hwe na wokofa no na ofiri another party mo no ane party for e na ebe sori aka kire ne se wo ye corrupt enko nkwaje nya dey entum enso na sa nipa no bia na wo adoma kyede a ye de ni di dwuma be de eyeye me last example am de ba wie eye PNC eye Edward Dr. Edward Nasiri Mahama abai fa ne se onye ambassador at large hwensem a ono ankasa ne party for e ka gu no ho fi nti akoye ade bi a akoye ye ankasa yesu na ye se be fight corruption da ye cultural practices bi o ha e wo se ye hwe because so wo kwa ko hu osofo ana we mama ye nkonsapan ye ha so se ahemfie nso ye nkon nsapan na ahemfie nso de sa ye nkonsapan no na mesumi ko hu me pani na wo se me ma na nidie no na me nso ma mfa sika kra anko a onye hwe kra ma me asa bode bi de ma wuto o se mutu twa na me de to kato na me ye de me de ko and yensa hu say we operate an extended family system.
That's right.
And nonso no den say okọ baabi na makote say yefre wo ata na mabisa say wo firi hin na wa kire baabi a wo firi na titu kura ma hu say me hwe wani ase a bia me no kura ate abanwa ba akoso na wo ye bibi ati a wo say me twe waso no gise me twe me ho eye de free sa ate bia no ho no ne ntete a wo say hyase ye koye schools mu a professor wa ha and now bet ni say lecturer bi wa ma amfa no a o ma max e sha se firi ho student bi ho be jide ne ho asua de pa no onyire ne ho asua de o pese okọ na okoye bibi na ye ma no max ye see your assignment wo nye wo be ko ho also your student leader oh baba bobo kwa do say and we also cry max kakra na so ye ho adwuma sua no on pese we at the end of the day no e sha se free baby a ye nyina nti e se ye butena ha bokwa adu a wuti ye nsha se ye koto aba na obi aba begina ho professor o say mama me matches o de wa check kakra 1992 ni echiche bentoa
oh yeah
kako enchine what you say na ye koto aba na wo obi begina wanim koye campaign na o ka kire say mo de ma bibia me de me ntu na afi o ma bibi na woto na ono nso yire no ho say next time obetumi anya bibi di ama wa na wo se ye hwe ni yi ye ankasa so ye wo mra o se assistant wo ye politics mu say be ye betumi anya public and state funding we the bar na we abagu we the bar na we the agu
we will do that on another day abonongoche apa hometed you know. In the next 40 minutes we're looking at the second issue. I don't know if you add up on the corruption.
I think my colleague
is delving into it, very good. Excellent.
Well. But there's a caveat that my description of the auditor in this case was not, based on the current. Case, I'm talking about the appointment and the entire system. So I like minimize those powers. So that there'll be checks and balances. I'm into that. Until then, I'm very, very particular with it.
Okay.
I think you've really said most of the things that.
That's it.
I wish Ghanaians would understand the fact that corruption is not just about just pointing fingers at someone.
One or two people.
Ana make prof say katwi kakra. Ana o ma twi kakra be show kakra.
Yeah, sure. The very same issue. Pacha obetima send a message on Facebook. As we go on, we'll read it. Now, yeah, share. Obetima send this one about 020-5170-969. Text or WhatsApp 020-5170-969. It's 821. May look at the second issue. I'm penny to coin. Ghana or Falcon, you did to coin. Vice presidential travels there. Mikai Baby or Penny for a pencil. You see what to do. I feel Ratamels by. I feel this is what kind MPP for started kind. How many times I want to coin? Oh, President JM Subaya near started kind. How many times I want to coin? Or Fidia see on no crowd or come find him. Nana don't go for the Swabet Najasu. I feel the Abeto Jaya say, hey, walk on you see a falcon or abocassi or the Sikasi. But say, first one, be a deja. I feel hard to Kuja Twaba. I think he's becoming an expert in aeronautics, aeroplanes, and how much or your research. Oh, that's very good. To see how they Nana bomb mine do. Looking at COVID, say entighten your belt near Dinana, Okoshe, Sikatri dia, or the two quine near dear. Ebi say, Papa, I want you to on 2 or 3 occasions, Falconi. There were near misses in the air. Inti ama ebi on so abonu. Eti so obekọ na obekọ a calculate no fee say meko France but menya 170 million the National Development Bank. Makoji 1.2 million doses. I mean himself meko a meeting akoye sadi na ye boka say ya. Why the complaint? Mami just feel.
No, I'm say in your introduction you seem to have even provided some few lead to the Mekano. Metie menua okuja to bebre pa na nkomodie mu no. He placed so much emphasis on cost. Ekayebo. Na anka enso ben na amany ye my way atop aeroplane ama president. Na president bekaso anyebia memfair no. Na me bo my neka. When Mr. Metie interview be normally when I read, I want to listen to the people, the spirit behind what they say. Let me say no be interview no one of your sister media stations. No. If I say what to say, there are issues with the presidential jet. You'll be in Anuka, so there is some Mahama Meresukran. There were two issues. Are like one engine, a failure. Does he know what it means for an engine of a plane to fail in there?
In the skies.
Sometimes I'm slow and I say, did it cry back?
Even turbulence.
That's it. Did they be banners like what to say? A friend is saying, plane air shaky. Now, bomb pie say, because, and then say, baby, there's a friend say, window be a real a car. Wow. Now, okay, so say, wait, even one, Mr. Papillon Ferriade said, the life of our president. But me, I say, engine back failure, and yes, for me, the answer is that we need, if also mine or say another friend is saying presidential jet, your boka Emma, your presidents are one a kind LED, you have to do it. Until then, he has the option. Say play any young quantity, I mean, I would never risk my life. I mean, Chairman, why will you leave your car in the house and pick a private, what do you call it, Uber? I don't know. The issue is that the only answer I can give is that the car is not working well. It cannot move you from your house to your office. These are the issues we are talking about. Metieni bibre. Now, Adeba Kubia. Now, Obia cannot use his or discretion whenever they're giving up. Opportunity. To know. We appeal to the German government about
1.2 million AstraZeneca.
Yeah. Sa COVID mo ansama yeke. Minia nanka COVID vaccine no. I was shocked no bia eto. Anka meka it's so easy for every government buy. That's one of the reasons why I mean personal minister. Personally, all the issues the bring on vaccines. Everybody that so another country have vaccination, passport. They can it before I go to another. No,
continue for about 14 days. Also.
So if you want your economy to boom at this point in time, what it means is that you have to, and the president, I was to an Okwabuchi. Now, Okwa vaccination man and Crawford, minister. I was to president, a my pan of Omanhene. We need to vaccinate the people. Most of it about the value against it. Please bring it for us to Peru and see whether it justifies.
Say I see a Boca 2.5. And so what?
But truth be spoken, let's face the powers to the foreign minister to bring the cost items to them.
Finance minister,
any corrupt, the facts. We are very emotional. I wish yes sooner. We are very emotional. It's okay, yeah. Look, somebody can destroy you in a second. Because the nature of the way I yet it we are very emotional when it comes to decision making. Normally, maybe say, who accuse you? Like, let there be basis. Say, oh boy, are there alternatives? And also, it's several stations. Akasasa, say, President Omanhene Yaw, which I disagree, because woman for here vaccination. Na say, you need to continue to be nyeshe. What in excess? Now 1.3 doses now. Let's estimate in terms of even monetary terms. Because even $10. $10. And $1.3 million. Now we buy 1.5 million. Is it 3.5 million divided by 6? It's less than $1 million.
Yeah.
What I say? Now say, or they are copy. So we draw at the Ghana for. Ghana for. It is not the president's family. Ghana for. Or the best area. Na MP moi. Ube yet na kaminyanka sa MP no. On transcend kase. The disparity between what we are earning and the average Ghanaian is too high. The gap no high into no yenteso. Now you so papi ukasapa.
Oh, your man papa.
Thank you. Well, sometimes it is what they call it gymnastics in politics. He must be heard. But nukre woman say, ye pese yet the crime ni pana committee. But don't just say it's expensive. What are the alternatives as a president? You, so economy, but I'm telling you, it gets to a stage. Want to make about the economy. As individual, like Udu Pumbia, when you are climbing in the academic year, they take you through what we call the professional etiquette. Nanka those days, Ametihano, me free school bar, joint Biwo, Newtown, Kelewili. Nanka, roadside, no.
Yeah, Sanka,
men Ntie free Newtown, but if you know, now
I finish it. No, what's our exercise?
Thank you. Utop Brebian, and Yamide. But it do be ultimate. And
do not
thank you.
We are local boy. Sangata.
Thank you.
I watch it. Now I'm for him. Meanwhile, what the armor?
Thank you.
Oh, no. I can't even to
Professor Mauto,
Dr. Mauto,
State Kalawole.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
I got OC classes so for the first 10 minutes, the students,
Doctor, what were you doing there? I seem to say this alcohol. But the president, they all say,
the security level, propaganda, many people want to infect propaganda.
Security.
Uncut the value, the essence of the travel. And the issue is that se wako nasa or the and yes vaccine also kwanka onko. Okano, oko France no, oko pay brain to establish our development bank.
Yeah.
Will you have been happy say me canisa so all project problem now inch another one are failing Now it is so BBS to president. Is that what they want to hear?
Nah. So some you didn't question no wa a car bebo Ghana. The cost of the president's funeral. Can we quantify that to the cost of the private jet?
One more kasa. Now they compare US. Somebody compare. Do you know the amount of money the US spends on the president when the president is coming to Ghana, or even a nearby Mexico? You have no idea. The president is the embodiment of the country. Maybe you could be representing country, no. And all the security and safety measures, we have to accord him. They need a meaning drink crass or Omanhene Yaw. But the meaning drink say if there's no policy guiding the issues of travels, no, there should be. I don't have info to that. But if there is none, then there should be. And
the fact that he's calling for it means there is none.
Okay. All right. And yes, NDC a buying and answer NDC kun nkrofo mienu bi wo ha manage omo ho pa enam their youthfulness.
Yeah.
And their boldness to serve. Okujeto ni George.
Jata.
Jata. In fact, time I was primaries, I openly told on air, on TV show, told people, say, Mirasu saw almost as how months are normal the money for fraud. Manage your mona, I told the beer baby, I know doing some fun. Told the beer, I'm a raho. The entire name of raho, and say, you want some power, so whoop so can some net a talk in the past more. I was a weird day. Okay, or you'll be so. Was served as deputy minister for communication, information,
and
so
education.
And minim say or a young crowd na in him the end day. Number one, minister had to me no, Sankame was hard to me no. When I'm a bon qua boo, and can litmus test a mayor no say, and Kaibia 60 days na ma jenenkwa. You talk by election or the constituency we are. Now you assistant a honka. Now if you never saw the name Kwamano no aba. Now you tenants and you assistant a car just 60 days, you know. Or call the create, you know. Or minor bo afane home. And chair and a yenia Mrashebe Jani Sunyani West. Any voter region. Omunya accident.
Yeah.
Na me come tell say nyame ne di wo mu hafofi. Wo de no to nchen a car na nipa ne timu no. Eno nso eboa bo wo mu ho ban.
Because Land Cruiser no the way I process.
Sekoye car from a year bia me come tell ka sam na to Ghana nyina. Enti ono no ye mresha bedwane no na me nua yi bisa na sem so o pese ye hunu say ye bokapa nka wo no unhu say appointment committee na wo so no ne man koyie wadwen ye o say wa resign afiri ho no won so wo fi say ye boka nka won so bra na be ka say o me kra masom ma ye deputy me ma ese nka wakatua no ka kire say ye nte so ana say fatudwa na kachira wo ho se ne o mampani ye to abama na o ka se ode enabi ode ni pay aba afore ye no ka won so ye dai fa ba afore na obi ahunu se ne wo ka no wo gidie dai ewo mu wo no enam wo kwanti no ya ma wo expensive car ya ma wo loan se fa kotoka eno kura no se ne Ghana fo si kasete a ye nyina echi wantumi ama abonte ama mbeka but baby wo ha all cancel amene ne ya adwen. Said there's a policy, but policy no. Ni we free say on the 21st of June 2018 and yamame chief of staff honorable Akosia Frema Osei Opare extra ye letter no ni na over to me aje letter na akenkan
na men kan letter
placing a temporary ban on traveling for ministers, government appointees, and MMDCs.
Yeah.
So time na COVID time. It was to develop a guideline. Into Ubehu, sa letter no say one of the intentions was first to develop a guideline for the travels.
Okay.
Let
me read it quickly.
Good.
Because for purposes of the President of the Republic has directed that all foreign travels by honorable ministers, deputy ministers, MMDCs, and heads of government agencies.
This is Office of the President.
Yeah.
Letter
Yes.
signing.
Yeah. Be suspended with immediate effect. Guidelines in respect of future foreign travels aimed at minimizing disruption to government domestic work will be communicated to you shortly. The Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration is, however, exempted from this temporary ban on foreign travels. Please acknowledge and accept for strict compliance. Honorable Akosia Firma, Chief of Staff. Very good.
How many a copy ma or
all honorable sector ministers and deputies, all regional ministers and deputies, all MMDs, all heads of government agencies, the secretary to the president and the secretary to the vice president.
Yes. All heads of government agencies, and I'm reliably informed that copies went to Parliament.
Yes, Parliament received some.
So, we are parliamentarian. Na say BBC or na say for winning koha guideline now was
I said he's looking for a policy for the president.
So it say Matthias say Matthias say until I'm saying Omanhene, but to give the indications I say it is unregulated. And now the president is the #1 ambassador of this country.
Yeah.
And nothing will be a ye mana konya ewo be oman bia so onkoye Ghana na musini no okwa oye president no na musini until the president is the chief ambassador of this country.
That's right.
Luckily a president is wababe foreign minister pen records say no ye foreign minister the travels no edos be bre chance say obey president na then na samre no so no eno no obi okwa adura na so de bono samre we a oye chief executive of this country a esefata say otu ho anamo no na menu apani aya analysis no bebre meneni ya adwen e very dangerous say ye de afidie ho atechema e de be ma omampani yen kan hu say omampani na ye figurehead but okwa sector ministers ni other appointees ni ade di akiri enti nipa na o kasa asem no also man adwini mo do bebre wo ho because o kasa asem we na wo kan the point nipa ba ko you have mistaken fa wo mo edi akire nyina ko na fa sa nipa kan ho ni nyina no we at the top we but president ni aid ni assistant keka ho what I say okay. Ne bodyguard ni ade ka ho wo de wo mo nyina ka ho a na bubu sanka obi e kofa plane individually na wakwa anka cost no so anka no so be yesen no na nipa na all boss akwadi wan fasa analysis na mba what is the best alternative anka kire afidie kura okofa ya anka be yefo a be of good quality and also ebetumi de president akọ ede na ba asumdwem eno ne ye peti na prof kasa no wama nyina ya te ase menso mne ya adwen nipa no o say o de aburo kwa kodua sa ode ebro kentema ne kodua ye na etwabre no so ye yetwa mulu ba ko hode ye nanka ye nyina ye de kokromoti besi ne hwena no but we wakodua boto ba ko na yabu emrosan bebre a untumi nka nkyere mi so yokuyani a onim ne oye na one life of even a parliamentarian to us is so huge,
so
costly because bakukra eti etofom and then ochina na yesi ekoye by election number 1 NCC bi a wadwene nko campaign on be public education posters are aban nkasa EC4 ebe printe and hon krono ba notification parliament and hon krono ba ansana nipa na yiye kura ho ka ene akire notice of pool printing of ballot papers ansana ya
by election violence electoral violence by elections eno cry is so costly
ene ne ono nso besa na daje bia na nka owo ni kelewele bia na se ni kosi bichi asa adam also ono so se na daje kogina line mu se ono so kotoaba sankrofo we nyina cost opportunity cost wo di bomu a emen omampanin sika ya yesi wo de atu kwan granti misre guidelines no ɛwɔ hɔ nti wɔn yɛ no so wɔn it's a general guideline in order not to disrupt domestic work any ɛho cost ni ade so we have COVID mu kura another guidelines were produced say conferences ni ade no people don't have to travel and nti wo pese wo hu motive on say bibia obi ya ade bia wo pese wo hu motive no sometimes the action can be wrong but the motive could be right.
Okay,
this is the same president what me ayan hihye afa ho say be foreign travels ni ade kura be ba form na ehun hia in fact who chief of staff aswea ombetumi aka actually say onkrofobia they send notices on person who to come for conferences near there
yeah, that's true.
Etwam kire say we no ka kire o say we be Zoom we be say all to save money for but so man penny odi enim na who say Ghana so we are not an island na say ye be ye bibi say na fe also tu kwan kodi yenim wo bibi ani na odwene na odwene na yeso ye bekeka ho a ebedi ye nyina anya ntimi de mesre say omampani ati saa asem we a omu na nimu so na mom policy no de ewo ha ewo ho ma oman ni nyina.
Okay,
oman ni nyina policy no so nkire the number of travels ebetumi a kire say guidelines e bia mampani yes but menu ba ko ye adwuma o state protocol nti wo frɛ me no say buy a better sense we me friend be say they have guidelines, they have policy there.
Okay,
so
mami
policy
mami kind messages kakra mami kind messages he said please Omanhene, Ghanaian citizenry has metamorphosed into a certain state that requires deep analytical thinkers, not ordinary political talkers. The state itself is sick with people who want to get rich within a twinkle of an eye. Capitalism has its own pros and cons. Private entrepreneurs challenge the state by creating jobs and paying genuine taxes to boost the economy. In capitalist democracy, said that the government has no business in doing business. Please, Omanhene, okay, this one. Let me move on to the next one. It's a change of the constitution as the way to go. Auditor General, Special Prosecutor, Attorney General, IGP should be appointed by an independent body. This is coming from Sapon. Omanhene, we are listening to you. And I can say that your guests are just too much. Greet them for me. These are the kind of people we need to please Omanhene. Try and invite them always. Definitely, we'll try as much as we can. Borowski is from Asesrewa. He said, Omanhene, tell CDD that they should come again. Say hi to Honorable Gatti, former Railways Minister. Come again from where? He said, good morning, Omanhene. Tell the government to pay our NAPCO September stipends. We are hungry. Kwame Uzu from Ejira sends that. All the trainees have been paid up to date, but we have not received ours for the past 5 months, and we are Heal Ghana trainees. Okay, Heal Ghana for almost so Ediana, almost so Edia Brain, and no pay and no. This one is a birthday. It's a happy birthday to my brother Kojo Despite. Okay. Canada J24 said, Omanhene, on Facebook, your panelists are just so good. Please, every Saturday, Mr. Benata and Dr. Mauto, bring them to speak.
Canada J24,
I only knew how.
Okay. Oh, it's Penny or Akomada.
Oh, that's lovely. On national issues. For endless. Good job, my boss. I miss you, pal. Pray Nine said it's obvious some patients with herpes are being enslaved on the antiviral and other supplementary orthodox medicine just to help suppress the virus and not a cure. I have been with the virus since 2019. I've been with the virus since 2019 until I was introduced by a blogger who also narrated a story of how he was cured of herpes. Come on.
Mate.
Unemployment, Ghana is here. Are we not sitting on a time bomb? But I say, people are not seeing it. But ebi mo see Omanhene one district one factory and now obi Narubizi, I think what's the name, rubber factory. It is to employ almost 3,400 people, generating $9.7 million even to full production a year. If you say I buy them and you call 1D1F no one, and to me and yes I did free ho. Again, is it that the youth we don't have employable skills and I say then your school do we need to change the curricula? Now it's me more very positive on the employment market and mami musa.
Yo me da say na answer na me call asem so no. Mami akonya na me nkotu nsem bi amaka atwa mu. 2015 me ka asem bi. Na 2017 Euro Safomafo ebe kan in August say aban adwuma yefo no kra dos na bia na akoba say aban beyi ebi kra adi ama e hon sam bebre koba enti ye frame me no me de tu dwa say obi anka na command to ne because aban nwuma obey ye na expansion na ebeba ni nyina no it comes with it job creation enti Euro Safomafo kan sa akra na from technical point of view yes I never buy until be can come to here but Miss Haka SMBC studio into Ghana web call other places and my joy line there I'll be on 10th of August 2017
okay
na me can say and you be about to me reading but me can say sa ban epese we win 2020 elections there na the number one idea was about here and it's a big creative jobs. And now a big creative enabling environment. Now private sector also affirm na a creative jobs. And a idea na was say na me sa kan no bi ansa na makomasem so. If the MPP government wants to break the 8, it must break unemployment first. If we say Ghana population projections in nature say we have more than 50% of all Ghanaians below the ages of 22. So 22 and below, no. Normally 50% or more. Actually, I would say in the next 3, 4, 5 years, one of the key things I also hear is that you need to expand schools. Social amenities are youth oriented. And the skills development. It has its relevance in industry. Now, feeling one more opportunities. And don't you know, if the government is unable, and I'm saying this boldly, if the government will not be able to do that, no matter the campaign, the youth of this Ghana will vote against you. Because as for them, they don't remember anybody called Eduboy. They don't know Buzia, they don't know Dombo, they don't know JJ Rawlings, they don't know Kufuor, they don't know the history of the two parties. They are the very objective class of people. Now, one of the priority areas is to create jobs. But now we'll be such a youth unemployment. Youth unemployment there. About all the employment structures in I was so kakra. But in your main child there, a buying so the Shishabia bar, friend job and skills project. Kwaji World Bank loan, a bro bear said 300 million. Buying the 200 or more. Luckily for some of us, and also a foot to the one of the key areas I will say a tackle which is also being done. Job and skills mismatch. Share, may we hear tilers. May we hear POP guys. Oh, you way. Who bet me a chance and on Sabacan so no where you might be or baby. On ye. Into your opportunities be or your skill set in our hano, there are too few for them.
I was a training
more. Who call your oil and gas industry? Who bet me and you'll be obeyed me underwater dinner. Others of Nigeria, of Vietnam, of Iran, and that's another country. And nam say, Yahano Yen Titi in Crofua, one more able to me a take his opportunity. The say skills training institutions, academic institutions in the idea say, a merason say you change your curricula. Na ya man Crofua in Titia, what relevance in industry. Emra so say science and technical education. You may any ko. And I'm yemri no. The next thing I will say you to me ye. Titru and so any entrepreneurial skills. And no that how they member buy up as titru under the job and skills project. So one more but technical education not akosro to even streamline it. See our TVET service.
Yeah.
Apart from GES, TVET service so convert so is receiving help. No more mess say obi obenya ntete ye bia in some of these structures and kabe me dey say aban betu mi abomodin say we wie na okono me man certificate
so nasene
me yasene no create jobs am also betu mi afadi mi abako ahye ho within the MBA SSI aban so with a lot of money to make sure that entrepreneurs who are a bit to me and ya creative jobs. Weird. A nipa no corner for yeah.
Say, who should be blamed for that? I don't know about you, but Oba, they say me Mason. Then I got general.
Yeah, okay, Mason.
Thank you.
Who quiet the Mason? Oh, madam, you go trace Kakaka in the Koye Mason.
Thank you, Medas.
Straight away.
That's it. A brana memewahano. I'm a kill person. In fact, my ambition is to become a carpenter. That's one of my biggest ambitions. Me who furniture. Maybe I was just looking at the ambience here. Me saw way. I was just touching it. Wherever I go, I look at the ambience and that me share furniture work. I want to know unravel the mystery behind the furniture settings. It's one of my skills. Now, personally, I also fell into a family. Growing up, there's this like job, picture. So eventually, you grow out of it, end up in either the classroom, maybe a nurse or something like that, or a doctor or a lawyer. Or now there was a day here now, me free school by now. Area here now, I say neba, so person ocean plumbing, now call ATTC. Now person neba no ba UPS, I don't know IP, but UPS main convincing number IPS because no, papa na kasa electrician. Now say juma no mpe into the band and brad. Na my friend. But say, and no na me person me ye. He said, what do you want to say? And na person, oh for me call ATTC.
Na me nkusia.
Wan mama an kwa me call school biom. Because me pe human strand be me pen sa no adwuma. Papa. Obano. One man an school no so nko biom. They don't worry. What do you understand what one to yaso? Me man the benefit of getting skills. Meaning, the last time I saw this guy, the guy has his own company. And then say, and then plumbers are short to Okruma.
Yes.
Baby. And then the upper bisa contractors Okruma. Kofa Mason free Nigeria ni Benin.
Even almost here POP. Okay, form Togo. And I hear
said there's no environment in this country. a misplaced priority, a mindset. Obia per se na only na say me charge your school me could
all too soon my time is up.
Me say me could just school class in my class. Some of you don't need employment. You don't need to write application. Your parents have been selling in shops. So they have been able to pay your fees for you. What you have to do is to use the knowledge here to go and expand their business for them.
Period.
To move from the shop to maybe the next level and start opening branches. That is, then you are also creating jobs for others to join. Some of you, shop for Makola. Now, when we school, say banking and finance, and I said business administration. What about tie? And I'm crew a job at about 1,500 cedis a month.
When the plumber within 2 weeks is collecting 5,000 and more.
They are not paying taxes.
I'm telling you.
I was here for Dr. Mautase, Sansuso, and Ameda Benjamin Atase, labor expert. I am civil engineer. But did you mind the university of Onon? That's a net. Your best see Amansan Ntie, so Madam Asim Penny for.
You're welcome.
My boy, Park. But in your mind, you're the Boakye, Macramo. See Amansan.